went to town on Saturday, and now when I say we went to town, we got in my dad's Kaiser, and we drove almost to downtown. Now the reason I say we drove almost to downtown is we didn't drive right downtown. We'd park in a neighborhood outside of downtown and then walk downtown. And the reason we did that is because downtown they had parking meters. My dad said I refused to pay money to sit still. Now, our little hometown, we were big enough we had two of everything. We had a Belk and a Penny's. We had an Eagles and a McCrory's 5 and 10 cent store. We had 2 shoe stores and 2 furniture stores and 2 barber shops and 2 hair salons, and we had just 2 of everything. Had 2 movie theaters, and 2 pool rooms, and 37 churches. If I'm not mistaken, that's the correct ratio of pool rooms to churches in a southern town, you know. And we had 2 drive-in restaurants. We had the Blue Circle on one end of town and the Dairy Queen on the other. Now we would come in on the Dairy Queen side, and behind the Dairy Queen was a vacant lot, and that's where all the good stuff happened. You know, if 2 boys in the pool room got in an altercation, they'd say, y'all take that down there at the vacant lot and settle this. Get out of here. And, you know, we'd follow them down there to the vacant lot, and they'd circle each other for about 10 minutes. We'd give up and go back to the pool room. You know? I remember one Saturday coming into town, and they were putting a Ferris wheel up back there behind the Dairy Queen. And my brother and I said, Dad, the carnival's in town. Can we go to the carnival? My dad stopped the Kaiser right there on the middle of Main Street and turned around and looked at my brother and me like we were war criminals or something. He said, do you know why those people come to our town? And my brother and I looked at each other and said, so we could have fun? He said, no, they come here for one reason, to get your money. And my brother and I just got our allowance, and we said, we got some money they can get. My dad looked at us and he said, I tell you what, when we get through with our business in town, I'm going to take you boys to the carnival and show you what a gyp joint that place is. We couldn't believe it. Now, our business in town usually consisted of this. We'd go walking into town, we'd get down on Main Street, and Dad would go in House and Hardware and spend about 4 hours trading pocket knives and talking about World War II. Our mother would take one boy on each hand, and we would visit all the fabric stores in town. Oh, it was wonderful. And then we'd go to Belk's, and we'd go to the bargain basement and look at fabric samples. But then we'd always meet up at Friel's drugstore where we would get 1 scoop of butter pecan ice cream, sitting at that long black marble counter. And you could get it either in the sugar cone or in the little paper cone that went in the little silver holder. And of course my mother read the Ladies' Home Journal too, so we had to get the silver thing, right? Because you got a real spoon with that. And we didn't mind, because if you've ever had butter pecan in one of them little paper cups, the best thing to do is go ahead and stuff your mouth full with about 6 good mouthfuls, and then you let about that much of it in the bottom. You stir that up with your spoon and you get that good and goopy, and then you pull that little paper cup out and bite the end off of it and suck down the goop. But you got to be careful, because there's pieces of pecan in there, and it'll stick in your windpipe, and your brother will have to beat you on the back to save your life. Well, we had finished our business downtown, and we walked back out to the Kaiser, and we got in, and we started back home, and swear to goodness, Dad said, all right, and he pulled into the Dairy Queen lot. We walked into the big bannered opening where they go into the carnival there. And of course they had the tent shows, was the first thing you come to. And right there, the first one on the left, they had the, the banners up there, and they had the paintings, and it was just hideous. And it was, what you could see in there for only 10 cents were giant Chinese cave rats. Giant Chinese cave rats. And of course, my brother and I were dying to see us some giant Chinese cave rats. So we was looking at it, at the illustrations up there. And my dad studied that, and he said, boys, he said, you'll give them people a dime and go in there, and you know what you're going to see? We were like, giant Chinese, nope. He said, they won't be nothing but possums dyed brown. Hell, we'd never seen possums dyed brown. We was willing to pay for that. No. We went on down there, and for 25 cents, you could see the original, genuine wild man from Borneo bite the head off a live chicken. No, couldn't see that. He said, you boys will get in the Kaiser and puke on the upholstery. So we couldn't do that. We walked on around to where the Midway was. And they had this ride called the Zipper. Now, some of you may have been on the Zipper. Fascinating piece of equipment. Goes up and around like this, and little cars that do this, and they got steel cages, and your money falls out, and they collect that when they get you out of the car. All that. And we were just dying to ride the Zipper. And we said, can we at least ride the Zipper? It ain't but 15 cents. And my dad was an engineer. He said, let me study this thing a minute. And it had hydraulic motors and hoses and electric motors and fan belts, cables and running things around everywhere. My dad studied that, and he said, I said, okay. And then he looked at the man running that thing, and he said, He said, boys, look right there. You see that man running this ride? That's the man that puts this thing together and works on it. Look at him. Nasty overalls, brogan shoes that don't even fit with no socks on, a t-shirt that's got grease on it from the last 12 years, grease caked under his fingernails, ducktail haircut, 4 teeth missing, and smoking an unfiltered cigarette. He said, would you boys want to ride in anything that man had worked on? And I looked at that man, and I said, looks just like the man that works on your car. And that's when we left the carnival. Well, I remember one Saturday was in there, just come out of Friel's drugstore, and we heard this beautiful a cappella gospel singing. 3-part female voices singing, just sounded like angels. And people were coming out of the shoe stores and stuff going, what is that sound? And then we saw what it was. It was a gold Cadillac about as long as this stage, convertible. And sitting in the front seat was a man. Y'all remember Gorgeous George the wrestler? Looked like his twin brother. Had a big pompadour hair, all done back. Looked kind of like, well, he looked like the President of the United States in some ways. Had on diamond rings on every finger. Had a cigar in his mouth and like a gold cap tooth, And to this day, the only orange 3-piece suit I've ever seen. Just go, And in the back, he had these 3 beautiful women all in wigs and gowns, and they were singing that beautiful gospel music. We're all just like mesmerized. And as they went by, everybody's going, who in the world are these people? And then we saw who they were, because right behind them come a big truck, and on the back of the truck it said, Brother Dave's Traveling Salvation Show and Tent Revival. And under that there was a little banner that said, Salvation Free. And when my dad saw the word free, he said, we can go to that. Well, the whole town followed them down there, and they set up a tent that was about the size of this place where y'all are sitting right here, this little area right here, made out of canvas about thick as an elephant skin. Now this was in August, first part of August, the dog days of August. It was about 140 degrees outside and 290 degrees in that tent. The humidity in there was 200, Well, they got that tent set up and we all went in there, and they had a little stand there right by the flap where you come in, and they had a box on it, and in that box was a bunch of funeral home fans. We each got 2. I've got carpal tunnel right now from trying to breathe in that tent, you know. Well, we all sat down there, and the 3 Salvation Sisters got up, and boy, oh boy, they just knocked it out of the park. It was wonderful. And they finished, and they sat down there on the stage, and then Brother Dave got up. And he had a big J200 Gibson guitar, and he brought in some sheaths, I'm going to tell you what. Then he laid that big Gibson down, and he reached and got the King James, and he started pacing back and forth, and pounding on that Bible, and speaking in tongues. And every time he'd get to the end and turn around, hey! And he'd go over here, and hey! And he'd go over here, and hey! And we was all sitting there watching. And then he walked up, and he put that Bible down, and he raised one hand to heaven. And he started preaching and trying to scare us into salvation by telling us that if we didn't come right down there today and be saved, that we might wind up in someplace hot. Mosquitoes hummed and we sang songs about Jesus' blood and where our sins had gone. On a summer night in '53, in a gospel tent behind the Dairy Queen, Jesus saved my soul from sin. When he came to my hometown in a big old tent, a 10-year-old sinner got washed clean behind the Dairy Queen. Naked light bulbs hung in muggy air. There was Amazing Grace and folding chair, and there was Jesus' face on cardboard fans. Either Jesus' face or praying hands. And Jesus saved my soul from sin when he came to my hometown in a big old tent. A 10-year-old sinner got washed clean behind the Dairy Queen. And there was music on a big guitar that the preacher brought in his big car. They were singing, bringing in the sheaves, and I walked down front and I fell on my knee. And Jesus saved my soul from sin when he came to my hometown in a big old tent. 10-year-old